Morning, folks. Today's soap is brought to us by Victory Shaving. This red tail, and there's the scent on this one here is mahogany and coconut. And probably it'd be best to go to the link here if you're looking for more information about this. I'll put it down below. This soap here comes in a screw top tin. There we go. That's what the soap looks like. It's fairly easy to scrape out, but it's yet firm inside the container there. And this is pretty reasonably priced. Most of the soaps are priced right around the $13 mark. And going to be following the shave up today with Lucky Tiger aftershave. Already put a hot towel to the face this morning, as well as still using the Proraso, there we go, Preshave. And I got it whipped up here in my smooth bottom bowl. It's fairly moist, a little bit thicker, not quite drippy, but pretty darn close to it though. With a Yaqi 24mm synthetic knot. Might add just a little bit more water to it. It's thickening up now. And as it goes for the shaver, I'm trying to do this right here. This is all three base plates and cap. And I've got a link down below. This is by the way of West Coast Shavings, and I guess you might say in collaboration with Charcoal Goods. There's three different base plates, one cap, and you can kind of tell all those fit right there together. It's on sale on the website, West Coast Shaving, for right at $20, which is a heck of a bargain. So the cap works with all three base plates. This one here is referred to as Toothsome, and it's an open comb, a little bit different design, but it is an open comb. It's well made. I mean, you can't really complain about the fit or finish on these things. And this one here is, I think it's pronounced Lithe, L-I-T-H-E, and that's what the backside looks like. This one here is supposed to be the milder one, if you will. And then this one here is brawny. And how you can tell that it's brawny is that this right there, you should be able to see the A right there for aggressive. That's how you can tell the difference between this one here and the Lithe. Because otherwise you can tell they're very close. Not a whole lot of a difference. You have to put them side by side and look at them, and there's a little bit of a difference there, but I know by the naked eye, for me, is it enough to make a difference in the shave? And evidently it is. But at any rate, I'm going to be using the Toothsome this morning, the open comb, and the blade of choice is Lord Cool. Show you what the blade looks like here. Pretty nice wrapper. This is fairly thick. And I'm going to be using my brass handle today. I have more than one, but this is the one I chose today. Put this together. That handle there. This came by the way of Mac Metalworks, and he's not, I guess you might say, he's went a different direction with his business, so getting one of these is not going to be possible unless it's on a buy-sell trade type thing. And most of these were more or less one-offs. Matter of fact, the three set up here from West Coast came from Stephen Sprague. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate it. That's what's going to provide the shave this morning, I guess you might say. I'm going to go ahead and wet the face here. But pretty nice setup. I mean, considering that you get more or less three different shavers, that only takes up about that much space for about 20 bucks. I think it's like $19.95 is what it's on sale for. And when you find I guess you might say, a setup like this, it's kind of hard not to be somewhat excited about it. I think I'm going to have to sneeze here pretty soon, maybe. It's hard not to get excited about it because, for one, to get three shavers in one for 20 bucks is pretty darn inexpensive. And it only takes up, that much space. That's pretty cool. Now as it goes for the shaves, a while back I had picked up the Lithe version, and it's a smooth shaver. And today is Toothsome, and from what I've been reading about it, expectations are an efficient shave, smooth and comfortable. I guess you might say a touch more efficient than the Lithe version, which is supposed to be the mildest one. I'll shave with it tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, if everything goes well at least, I'll shave with Brawny, the more aggressive one. And I think I'll go ahead and use the same blade throughout these shaves, so that way there'll be a, how you say, a decent comparison, if you will. But for me, I know the first time that when I picked up the Lithe, I think it's right now it's going for like maybe $5.95, I think it is. That's pretty inexpensive. And this setup is quality. It's pretty nice. I like it. There's one thing that's I guess you might say very unique about this sort of thing, is that you don't always find a setup this nice and this cheap. Because you can set this up with, you know, pretty much whatever handle you want, as long as it's standard threaded for this sort of thing. Makes it pretty nice for a travel situation too, with it no more space than what is taken up. It's not going to take up much room in your dot bag. Just put in your favorite handles, so if you get to your destination and decide you want a particular kind of shave, at least you got 3 different shavers to choose from. It's similar to a adjustable. I thought about doing that too, like you do with a Rockwell 6C, just to change the plates out through each pass. I still might do that, I don't know. It's a pretty nice setup. It's like I say, it's pretty exciting. I don't know that the camera done it a whole lot of justice to show just how nice it looked. My nose is picking up the scent this morning. It's kind of surprised. It is Monday, so don't always expect the best out of Mondays. Preparation to set the tone for the day. And it does leave, as you can kind of tell, a little bit of shaving cream lather behind, which makes it good to be going back over the same area a few times if you shave like that. That's your method of shaving. Don't know how this would work on a head shave. In case you didn't notice, or maybe I didn't show it well enough, how that cap is kind of humped up right there through the center. Of course, that's to help find the angle. For those that might be first starting out with this method of shaving. And like, it's inexpensive to start out like that. That's get the experience of 3 different shavers at $20, and all you have to do is have a handle. And like a number of us, we already got plenty of handles. But if you don't have one, of course, West Coast Shaving does have several handles to be choosing from. So far, pretty good. Third pass is going to be more of a pickup pass. There's really not a whole lot left. So it is, how can you say, being pretty efficient. Feels pretty good. Just got through, man, just right there in the middle of my glasses. Just got through getting some of the soap right on my glasses. So now I've got a blurry spot right there. Smells good. Reason why I went with Lucky Tiger is my thoughts on the on that was the fact that I guess you might say Lucky Tiger in the way of scent. Not that it smells the same. It's not the scent by any means, but as it goes for being bright or bold or heavy or anything like that, it's kind of a soft scent is how I would describe it. Kind of reminds me of Al Sapone from Razor Rock. And to start out a Monday just kind of easing into it, thought that Lucky Tiger would be a good choice this morning. Just going to ease in today's work. So far from what I have been able to find out, what I'm being told, is that it looks like I'll be working from home until what they're thinking is be around the middle of July. It's one of those situations where we're able to get our work done in the department I work in. As if we were in the office. So there's no real rush to get us back in there till they work out all the fine details, which, you know, there's a lot to work out. Plus it gives them plenty of time to see how things are going to progress. As I think they refer to it today as we're going into phase 3, where they're loosening up some of the restrictions or the guidance from the CDC and whatnot. So I think they're just being cautious. Wait and see how things play out. Not to rush back into anything, because like I said, there's really no need. We've already worked out a lot of the precautions for the folks that work out in the public, and then there's us that work in the office, and they've worked out a lot of those sort of details already. So, and if it's working right now, there's no real rush into it. I know they keep on talking about a second phase for the virus, but it's kind of our second wave. It's, to me, I just kind of view it the same way I do the flu. Flu season. It has a tendency to be the same way. It kind of comes in waves. Feels pretty smooth. Got about 98%. There's a little bit left if I wanted to work at it. Don't notice any weepers just yet. At the end of yesterday's shave, I didn't notice until right after I was shutting the camera off. Then I saw I had a couple of weepers just right there, where I was showing where it was stinging at. That's where the weepers are at. And I think what happened is that when I put the aftershave on, I think that helped open it up. Otherwise, the alum block was doing a good job sealing it up. And all I had to do was go back and touch it up with the alum block, and it was a done deal. Wasn't that big of a deal. And yeah, it's still stinging just a little bit right there. Got a little bit right down here too. Like I say, I would call this it's effective more. The best of my memory, I do remember it being being more effective than the Lithe. Just as smooth though. It's just more efficient. In other words, I wouldn't let that open comb scare you off thinking that's real aggressive or anything like that. I don't feel that that's the case with this particular setup. Got some Humphreys Hazel Citrus in it. I wouldn't say that. Interested in seeing how Brawny works out. It's supposed to be the more aggressive setup. Yeah, I'll use the same blade through all 3 shaves and see how that plays out. I've had pretty good luck with the Lord Cool. been able to get smooth, comfortable shaves with that particular blade. Don't see too many shave of the days with that particular blade, but works well for me. This is what the restrictor looks like for Lucky Tiger. It's not very big. This also is a pretty good sized container. This is about 8 ounces, and as it goes for prices, it's kind of it has a range of roughly $18 to $22 or $23 maybe. Just depends on where you get it from. This is good stuff. Like I said, it's I guess you might say a nice, calming, soft, easygoing type of aftershave. And so when you look at it at that dollar amount, you know, that might be not used to spending $18 or so on a aftershave, if you especially are on a budget. But keep in mind, this is 8 ounces. This is more than twice as much you normally get in an aftershave. So once you start figuring that out, you know, it's not a bad price. You're looking at, you know, what, more or less roughly $9 for each aftershave you normally would get. You're getting 2 of them, and plus a little bit more for, you know, right around the $9 mark, which is, that's pretty decent. Really can't complain too much about getting a quality aftershave that's nice and good for your skin and whatnot for that price. Now, as it goes for scent, how long does it last? My nose is not the best to be using as a gauge, because I know usually, depending on the how strong the scent is, how bold it is, it typically has a lot to do with how long I smell it. But usually about 15-20 minutes, my nose no longer picks it up. Not saying that it's still not there. It quite possibly surely is. I know because you know, 45 minutes to an hour later, my wife can smell it, so there's that. But just my nose, it's not the best in the world to be judged on how long a scent will last, because typically it lasts longer than what my nose picks it up at. Had a really nice shave this morning. This is pretty nice. Face feels really good this morning. Tomorrow I'll use the Lithe. It's supposed to be the mildest of the shavers, using the same blade. And then Wednesday I'll use Brawny. All right. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.